Okay.
All right, Horace, give us your testimony. We want to hear
Okay.
it.
I had a customer call me that has a 4-year-old child, and this little child is off the chart. He is terrorizing his school, his kindergarten. He's terrorizing his home. So the mother called frantically, wanted to know if we had anything that could calm this child down. So I thought long and hard, and I said, "Yeah." I said I heard them talk about the Hydro Original, and I said that should work. And I said the CBD. So I checked around with Jonathan and some of them about the CBD. And so what I came up with was the Hydro Original and the CBD. We gave this child one Hydro in the morning and one CBD before he left to go to school at his breakfast time. And I told the mom to give the child one stick in the evening and one CBD at bedtime. Well, for about 3 or 4 days went by. She called me and she says, "I don't know what this did." She said, "But this little child, 4-year-old child, has calmed down. He sleeps good at night." She said, "I like to fell out of my chair this morning when he come in and says, 'Good morning, grandmother. Have a nice day.'" And he went to school. So she is beside herself. This is the first time in months they said that they have actually had peace out of this young 4-year-old child. So our micro daily products even work for a 4-year-old child.
Yes, we've been witnessing a lot of children lately. So excellent. Absolutely. Another thing you can do is give them the kids gummies.
Yeah, I
And
mentioned the gummies, but she said she thought about. She said, "Well, you don't think that'll give him too much energy?" I said, "No," but they couldn't afford all three of them, so I chose the original and the CBD, and that's what worked for them.
yeah, and sometimes the probiotics has helped too.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yep,
good.
yep. All right, while we're waiting for a second, anybody else have a great testimony they want to share? Thank you, Horace. Go ahead, Bernard.
You're welcome.
Hello, Beth, and hello all. I have one with I have a gentleman that called me about a month and a half ago, actually. He called me and he said he had 2 months to live, and it was a heart-wrenching thing to hear. But he says that the doctors told him that he didn't have a chance on anything. So he was from Iowa, never met him. Someone told him about us and our products. So long story short, I wound up, he asked me about Micro Daily and the EMF, and I gave him the story of it. He says, "Well, do you think it would help me?" He said, "Every day I'm in excruciating pain." He said, "I'm suffering every day." He said, "I have 4-stage cancer of the stomach." He said, "And I found out all of a sudden." He said, "I didn't get a chance to build up." He said, "I truly want to live." So I told him, I said, "Well, I don't know." I said, "It absolutely help you out. As far as extending your life, that's something you'll have to try." So anyway, long story short, he decided to try it. Dr. Prasad, I talked with him. We talked about a therapeutic dose of the EMF micro daily and taking it 3 doses 3 times a day, along with the probiotic. And Dr. Prasad recommended that he takes a probiotic with each dose, which he 3 times a day. So we decided to go with that. So he calls me back after about 3 or 4 days after he received his product, and he said, he said, "My stomach feels like a volcano is in there. It's on fire." He says, "Uncomfortable, but I'm gonna keep going." And I said, "Well, keep going." I said, "Obviously, the micronutrients are actually attacking wherever your problem is." So he called me back a couple of days later. He says, "Everything has calmed down in my stomach and I'm feeling much better." Then he called me back a few days later and said, "All the pain in my stomach is gone." He said, "I feel a little pressure at the top because I could feel like the football is in my stomach. There's cancer and that a tumor." So then he called me back again a few days later and he says, he says, "Stuff is doing something. I don't know what it's doing." He said, "But I feel so good that I'm going back to work." He works part-time. I'm thinking they gave you two months to live and you want to go back to work. And so he went back to work and said the pressure on his stomach happened a little bit. But anyway, he called me back about 3 days ago and actually told me how well he's doing great. A lady called me that saw him, that know him, She said, look, she said, I want to know about these products because she said, I saw him yesterday and he says he felt better than he had for months. He has no pain. He's enjoying his life. And here's a man only supposed to have 3 more months to live, and it's turned around his old spirit within himself. So I have to say, Beth, I have never seen someone turn around so quickly. It's only been a month and a half, and we don't know where it's going, but we're monitoring him. And this man has gained his life back, his spirit back. He's so happy. And the lady that he referred yesterday ordered a whole bunch of products for her and her daughter. And she said, if it worked for him, she said, I have no doubt it's going to work for me.
Wow.
Amazing.
I mean, every day is a great day because every day we are receiving more and more testimonies. We're helping more and more people. You know, it's like today with what's going on in the world, we actually have something that is helping us to offset all the negative that's going on out here. So the whole purpose of us as preferred customers or affiliates is it's our duty to share this to others. It is our duty to share this to others. So, you know, some people say, well, I don't know how to share it. Well, it's no different than you sharing what restaurant you liked or what movie you liked or, you know, whatever, the mall, whatever. It's the same thing. It's the same principle. So this is more important, though, because you're helping people's health. And a lot of people, I know a lot of people are hesitant, but at the end of the day, you bring them to these calls, you bring them to the testimonial calls, let that do the work for you. You don't have to do it. You can always pick up the phone and call whoever helped you to get on this product. Let them do the work for you. You just have to be the middleman and get us to the people to talk to. That's all you have to do. All right, anybody else want to share a quick testimony? Lloyd, you want to give us an update on you? You have to unmute.
Well, it keeps getting better. Had a project that I did last week, made a shelf for Anna Mary to put her microdaily products on, and I had planned on cutting out the parts and then getting Anna Mary to help me put it together because I wasn't too handy with the screw gun and the screws, and she come to help me. I was half done with it. It just worked. I mean, my hand cooperated, and I was able to assemble it. And 2 months ago, I'd have never been able to do that. It just keeps getting better.
So for the ones that don't know, Lloyd has been dealing with Parkinson's for many, many years now, and he's been on the product. He started in August. And I believe the first 3 months, Lloyd, was kind of slow of you seeing what was happening with you. And then all of a sudden, you had all these changes. And when I was just in Pennsylvania this past month, Lloyd can walk and do a whole circle, and he loves to do that because before he would have fell flat on his face. So for anybody that's had brain injury, like myself, that is big when you can get your balance back and start
and Saturday
back.
Saturday morning, I went out with the guys for breakfast down little village of Intercourse, and it was pouring down rain in the dark. And when I got there, I realized, well, the headlights weren't even glaring like they used to. I did not like night driving, but it just seemed like the oncoming cars were just one big ball of light. But it didn't bother me at all Saturday morning.
Yeah, that's big. That's a big healing factor in your brain.
There's a lot of people, and they don't like to drive at night, especially when it's raining.
Hey, Beth, this is Dave. I'm almost to my office here, but why don't you have Dr. Prasad, why don't you explain to people why these products are impacting people like this? What makes it, so special in terms of what it's causing to happen in the body?
Yeah, like I have said it, most of the things that you get sick from is some internal stressor. And one of the internal stressors are increased oxidative stress and inflammation. And if you control, it can affect your brain function, it can affect your kidney function, heart function, everything else. Sometimes something happens like in his case, if you have brain injury, it can further aggravate the problem. And so the question is, how do you do? How do you reduce those things? And micronutrients we have developed in a way that reduces oxidative stress, and especially in the brain. And as you know, that one of the major source of energy for nerve cells, for all cells, is mitochondria. And if mitochondria is not functioning well, your brain would not function very well. And so not only we provided additional, and as you know, a brain is exposed to high level of oxidative stress than any other organ every day. And so especially when you have injured and you have some problem, especially, then it gets further aggravated. So not only you take micronutrient, EMF, and the intestinal dysbiosis is a must, because this participate in the initiation and progression of all human diseases, all, no exception. So you must have that. And then, of course, brain boost, we added a special ingredient. And like, for example, resveratrol is one of them. And resveratrol is the only agent that can increase the formation of new mitochondria. And if we have more mitochondria, you can generate more energy. And so that was very interesting. So these are the main reasons that why you are feeling good. And of course, there is probiotics, and the collagen peptide is extremely important, because when you grow older, you can lose collagen because of the increased collagenase activity, and you can't control that. And it is also said that increased oxidative stress also increases collagenase activity. And so then when you lose your collagen, you can see in your skin, in your hand, but you can't see what is happening in your brain, in your heart, no other organ. And one of the major function of collagen peptide is to maintain the structural integrity of all organs. So if you lose the collagen in the skin, you can see it, but brain you can. Brain is certain part is also shrinkage. And this was demonstrated in case of a healthy 50 to 60-year-old individual, and with MRI, they found certain part of the brain is shrinking. And of course, they also have some cognitive issues, these people. And so they put it on 5 grams a day for 90 days, collagen peptides, and they measured again with MRI, and they found that shrinkage of the brain has markedly decreased. So brain structure is improved, and also they were having some cognitive dysfunction, and they also improved. So it is extremely important. It has many other functions in your body, and so that's why we developed Core 4. And of course, if you have especially brain boost, then you have a brain function, then you brain boost. You have some eye problem, then we have eye boost, which is very, very important. I use every day, and my 90+ old, and still I have eye very nice functioning. And so the point is that all the boosts are there to help you, but Core 4 is the central issue. And for example, if you have some anxiety disorders or depression, and then we have a CBD boost. So this is also extremely important to have that. So if anybody has a specific question, I will be glad to answer it. But that's a general idea of our goal and our products.
Well, the best person to hear how the microdaily is great for us is through you. So we appreciate that. Dawn, you wanted to say something? Dawn Marie Aim.
Hi there. Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
So I just wanted to share that my sister, she's 70 years old, and she shared with me about 3 weeks ago that the doctor diagnosed her with peripheral arterial disease. At first, they thought it was plantar fasciitis because her feet were so painful. And I introduced her to the Core 4 and GLP-1, so that's what she's been taking. So fast forward this morning, I spoke to her. She said to me, the pain in her legs, in her feet are gone. And I said, in that short of time? Even myself, I didn't believe, but she's telling me that her pain is gone. And when she called me this morning, she was busy clearing out our pantry of all of the other vitamins that she's had. She says, I don't need those anymore. They're no good. So that's an amazing testimony.
Yeah, another thing I would have suggested is since it's a peripheral artery disease, that means the artery is becoming narrowing. And so if you take a heart boost, then they will dilate the blood vessels and they will feel still better.
Okay, I will pass that on to her. I also gifted her last week a bottle of the Micro Daily Original.
That's okay.
Yes, so I told her, but
Yeah.
I will definitely tell her that.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Prasad.